If you are thinking about making a move, one of the biggest factors is what will it cost? Today we're going to talk about the cost of living in New Lenox, Illinois. Welcome back to Living in Chicago, Southland. This channel is all about what it's like living in the south suburbs of Chicago. So whether you live in the city now and you're trying to get out, if you're relocating to the area, or if you live here now and you're thinking about making a move, either way, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We will let you know whenever we put out a video about living in Chicago, Southland. So today we're going to talk about New Lenox, Illinois, and specifically the cost of living here in New Lenox, Illinois. New Lenox is where I currently call home. It was also named the #1 south suburb in a previous video we did. So there are a lot of things that factor into cost of living no matter where you live. You're talking about rent, you're talking about food, clothing, sales taxes, property taxes, your mortgage payment, all those kind of things. So we're going to dive into a little bit of what it's like to live here in New Lenox and how much it's going to cost you. New Lenox is a southwest suburb of downtown Chicago. There's a population of about 27,000 people here. And when it comes to cost of living, the biggest factor is probably going to be your mortgage. So the average value of a home here in New Lenox is right about $317,000. And property taxes can be a little steep compared to the national average. Not to get into any factors about Illinois and how they manage their budget and all that kind of thing, but something to take into consideration is that our property taxes here are in the top 5% of the entire country. So for that average value home of $317,000, your property taxes could be somewhere between $7,000 and even $9,000. Now, it's not the proper way to actually assess your property taxes, but a quick number to give you an idea of what your property taxes would be in New Lenox, Illinois, is somewhere between 2.5% and 3% of the value of your home. Again, not to get in too deep about the economy of Illinois, but a large portion of your property tax bill is what is paying for the schools. My last property tax bill, I think it was somewhere between 70 and 75% of the total property taxes are paying for the schools. We don't get that type of assistance from regular government and tax dollars that most states do. So while that is a very large number, in my opinion, to pay for property taxes, what are you actually getting for it? Our schools, according to greatschools.org, according to niche.com, we're A+ rated schools, A- rated schools, somewhere in the A department. Greatschools.org has us rated at 8, 9s, and 10s. So at least my opinion, what you're getting for that money, that high tax dollar that you're spending, you're getting a good return on your investment. Whether or not you have kids that are attending the schools and taking advantage of that good education, one of the largest factors to property values, whether they go up, down, or stay the same, could be the school system that they are in. So in my opinion, schools is one thing that is worth your tax dollars going toward. Another thing that taxes are paying for is infrastructure, police, firefighters, those kind of things. Again, niche.com has us rated as a very safe place to live. Crime is well below the national average, and they give us a B+ rating on overall crime in New Lenox. Income-wise, how much money are you going to have to make to live here in New Lenox? Well, the average household income here is right around $120,000, which again is much higher than the national average. Not only are our property taxes high, but you're also going to pay a larger number in sales tax. Our sales tax in New Lenox is 9%. Again, in the top 10% of the national average. So that does factor into everything that you're spending money on, right? Your food, your clothing, going out to dinner. Sales tax is significantly higher than most areas of the country. So there you have it, your average cost of living in New Lenox, Illinois. Now, what I like to do when you're talking about cost of living is measure your cost of living versus your quality of living. Now, you have to think about what's important to you, right? If schools, if infrastructure, if all that kind of stuff is important to you, then you're going to have to pay for it. There's not many areas of the country, certainly not of Illinois, that you're going to get a very high quality of living and for a low cost of living. Our schools are top notch, and you can probably live here knowing that you're going to be safe. If living in New Lenox is still of interest to you, I'd love to be the one to help out. My information is below. Make sure you reach out if you have any questions about what it's like living in New Lenox or anywhere in Chicago, Southland. Again, if you're still here and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do so. We will let you know whenever we put out a video on living in Chicago, Southland. Thanks for checking out the video, and we'll talk to you very soon.